The pleasure paradox. When something good becomes a god, the pleasure it brings dies in the process. Pleasure has this unique trait. The more intensely you chase it, the less likely you are to catch it. Philosophers call this the hedonistic paradox. The idea of that pleasure pursued for its own sake evaporates before our eyes. The Bible records how Amnon responded when he finally gave in to his lust. It didn't satisfy him in the way he thought it would. It was the opposite. The incident lasted just a matter of moments, and when it was over, he looked upon his with contempt, even with intense hatred. According to the scriptures, he hated her more than he had loved her. 2 Samuel 13:15. What a strange verse. He hated her more than he had loved her? What does that mean? She didn't do anything to him. It doesn't make any sense. But I'm guessing some of you have an idea about what's going on here. The god of sexual pleasure promises you incredible satisfaction. As you read magazines and surf websites, as you keep going a little further than your boyfriend or girlfriend, you obsess over what it would be like to push the envelope, to go ahead and give in your desire, to grab that moment of ecstasy. But what happens? The god delivers the opposite what it promised. Instead of satisfaction, you experience emptiness and an almost immediate hunger for something more. Instead of closeness and intimacy, you experience a strange sense of something that feels like loneliness. You think that the steak will match the sizzle, that it will pay off, that you will feel complete. Instead, you can't shake the impression that you've given away some part of yourself that you can't get back. When the gift replaces the giver as the object of the worship, something surprising happens. When we begin to worship this God of pleasure instead of the God who gave it to us, we discover that pleasure is lost. We discover the devastating paradox that we pursue pleasure as a God, pleasure disappears.